そういうの知らないとものすごい失礼な行動になる。英語を知ってると非常にプラスになるから。
Temperature could go as high as 50 degrees Celsius.
Oh my goodness. Hey everyone, it's Hika, your English coach. 皆さんこんにちは。2万人以上のビジネスパーソンに英語を教えてきた Bizmates 英語コーチのHikaです。皆さん中東の国って行ったことありますか？どんなイメージですか？私はないんですけども、イメージとしてはですね、なんか砂漠で高いビルがあって道にランボルギーニとかローズロイス、フェラーリが普通に走ってる、なんかこんなイメージがあるんですけども、どうなんですかね。ビズメイツの講師の中でトレーナーの方で中東の国に実際数年間お仕事されてたっていう方がいましたので呼びました。そしてその彼女にちょっとインタビューしたいと思うんですけども、まあ多分いろんなねビジネス文化の違いとかあるじゃないかっていうのを想定しています。まあ日本でもそうですよね。例えば日本に来てお米に箸をブスって刺すのはこれはダメですよね。こういうのタブーのマナーあると思うんですけども、中東の国はどうですかっていうのを聞きたいと思います。ぜひ最後まで見てみてください。はい、では皆さんマイルド先生をですね呼びたいと思います。マルさん、はい。Hey, thank you so much for your time today.
No problem. Pleasure.
All right. So, Miles-san, maybe you could start off by telling us a little bit about yourself. Just a quick introduction about your background, what you've done, okay?
Oh, sure. So, I'm from the Philippines.
Yeah.
And I graduated from the university with a bachelor's degree in physical therapy. After that, I worked at a couple of hospitals.
Yeah.
Then I felt like a hospital job was not for me, so I decided to move to another industry.
Yeah.
So from hospital industry to hospitality industry.
Hospitality. Okay, okay. なるほど。まあ、彼女はフィリピン出身なんですけども、もともと大学ではフィジカルセラピーですね。なんだろう、スポーツメディシンみたいな感じですね。その筋肉の動きとか筋とかね、スポーツで怪我した時のいろいろリハビリとかですね、この業界にもともといてですね、いくつかの病院で働いてたんですけど、なんですかね、なんか自分には合わないっていうことで、急に業界をビッグチェンジですよね。ホスピタリティって言ってましたけども、ホテル業界とかに移ったと。まあ結構ね、フィリピンでは看護師とかですね、そっちの業界もそうですし、ホテルとかサービス業界っていう方は非常に多いです。なんですかね、やっぱり人の助けになりたいっていうこういう文化がありますからね。Okay, so you went into the hospitality industry, and then is that where you got your start in working overseas?
Yes, that's right. That's how I got the opportunity to work overseas.
Okay, and in which countries did you or have you worked overseas?
Well, first I went to Qatar, and then Macau, and then
Macau.
Yes,
Yeah.
Macau, and then United Arab Emirates.
United Arab. Oh, UAE. UAE.
UAE.
Yeah.
Yes, in Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. Yeah.
Then Maldives.
Maldives. The Maldives. So in total, how many years were you overseas?
A long time. 15 years.
15 years. Wow! すごいですね。彼女も本当にグローバル人材ですね。最初はカタールですね。中東っていうんですか、中東の国のカタールに行って、そしてマカオですね。マカオに行って、その後 UAE ですね。United Arab Emirates UAE に行って、and then 最後が last was the Maldives マルディブスですね。まあ全部なんかすごい高級というかリゾートエリアになるんですかね。So, and you worked in the hotel industry in all those places?
All those places, yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'd like to know, what it was like to work in each of those places. But let's start off with Qatar. So, can you tell me about like the day-to-day work that you had to do in Qatar?
Yeah, so of course I was hired because I was a therapist, a spa therapist, right?
Ah, yes.
All right, so I went there, but unfortunately they didn't have spa. They only had like a massage service or something like that. So that became my secondary job. So my main job when I got there was receptionist at a 5-star hotel.
Oh, I see. Because you could speak English,
Yes, exactly.
Right. So in all those countries, Macau, Qatar, UAE, the Maldives, was English the main language used by guests?
Yes, that's right. We used English in all of those countries.
I see, I see. OK、そうなんで、もう彼女は、いろんな国に働いていて、もともとは、フィジカルセラピストで、スパとかで、スパのスペシャリストとして行ったんですけども、その仕事があんまり安定しないので、一応、高級ホテルのフロントデスクとか、そのお客さん対応ですよね。英語が話せるということで、そっちがメインの仕事で、プラス、スパのそういうセラピーっていうんですかね、っていう仕事もやられてたみたいですね。なるほど。So in your case, you had I guess like a license. You're a specialist, a physical therapist. But is it do people who want to work overseas, do they need those kind of qualifications, like some kind of certification or license in order to work overseas?
Yes, if you're going to work as a physical therapist, then yes, you are required to have the license to practice physical therapy.
I see.
In my case, I was a spa therapist and a receptionist, though they didn't require any licenses for those jobs.
I see, I see.
But nowadays, they would require a license from the Department of Health. But in my time, I wasn't required to.
Okay, so this was quite a few years ago?
Yeah, 2005 to be exact.
Oh, that's not too long ago. So about, almost 20 years ago.
That's a long time.
Wow, I don't know, it's not a long time, but okay. 彼女は20年前はフィジカルセラピストのスペシャリストとしてこういう海外に行く機会はあったんですけれども、特にそのライセンスとか、ポジションによって必要はなかったと。ただ今はだいぶ厳しくなって、やっぱりこういうライセンスとかサーティフィケーションっていうのは必要になってきてますねって。So you're saying back, 20 years ago, back in the day, they weren't as strict with the licenses and certifications. But nowadays, they're much stricter. In order to get a visa, you need the different qualifications. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
I see. Were there like any other sort of tests or like skill tests or training that you had to take before you were assigned overseas?
Well, that's the thing. I was quite lucky because I was referred to by my general manager. So the only thing that I had to do was pass the medical checkup or medical exam.
Yes.
For my health.
Right.
And also just give the copy of my diploma. All they needed was the university diploma.
I see.
And also my my grades. The units that I took in university.
Oh, they actually checked your academic records?
Yes, academic records, because there they will find how many units of English I took. Yeah, and the grades I had.
So there was no like English test, like TOEIC or TOEFL that you had to take?
In my time, no. And usually if the employees are coming from the Philippines, they don't normally require English test because they already know that we speak English.
Right.
Except when you go to like Canada or Australia, that's the only time that they would require. But the places that I went to, they didn't.
I see. You didn't have like an English interview?
All the interviews were in English.
Oh, all the interviews were in English. I see. And these were like online interviews?
Online, yes.
Okay. そうですね。そうなんで、今ともしかして20年前ってちょっとギャップがあるかもしれないですけど、当時はそこまで厳しくなくて、英語のテストとか特にそういうのはなかったと。ただ大学のアカデミックレコードっていうんですけど、どういうコース取って成績ですね、そういうのは見ましたと。彼女が行ったとこは英語はノンネイティブの国だったので、そこまで英語は厳しくなくて、ただカナダとかアメリカとかオーストラリア、こういうネイティブの国に行くと、結構英語のテストっていうのが厳しくなってきますよと。そしてただ面接は全部英語でもちろんオンラインでやりましたっていうことでしたね。はい。Okay, I see. And so just Qatar. I mean, I've never been to Qatar. I've only seen some YouTube videos of Qatar, so I don't really know what it's like. But maybe you could tell me a little bit about the culture. Is it quite different from like your country, the Philippines?
Oh, very different.
Very different.
I remember there were no YouTube videos before in my time.
20 years ago,
So
right?
I really didn't know anything about Qatar. All
Yeah.
I knew was that it's in the Middle East
Right.
and it's very hot. And
Hot.
people there are very rich.
Right, right.
Those are the only things that I knew about Qatar before I traveled there.
Yeah.
So I would say business culture or the culture in general in Qatar is what you call is very much influenced by its religion.
Oh, by its religion. I see, I see. And sorry, that religion it would be Islam.
Islam.
Right, 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 right. Okay, okay. Let me just translate. なるほど。彼女が言ってたのがですね、カタール、もちろん行ったことなくって行く前はですね、そして情報が今と違ってですね、ネットもまだね、YouTube とかっていうのはなかったので、ほとんど知らなかったと。とりあえず、暑いっていうのは知ってましたと。そして中東にあるのと暑いっていうのと、それは知ってたけどほとんど情報がなくって行ってからびっくりしましたと。そして宗教とかがやっぱりすごく強いっていうかメジャーの国なのでいろいろビジネス文化も宗教に影響されてるっていうこと、もうちょっと詳しく聞きたいんですけども Okay, can you be a little bit more specific? Like what sort of, maybe you could tell us a story or two about the different business culture that you experienced there?
Oh, sure. So, like I said, their culture is heavily influenced by its religion. So that's the Islamic religion.
Yes.
So, for example, when you meet business people, we need to dress conservatively, appropriately. Because in the Islamic religion, women, especially women, we're not supposed to show our bodies. Yes.
Like their skin, right? They can't show their skin, right?
Too revealing. So you have to have like sleeve dresses, and if you're wearing a skirt, should be below the knee.
Yeah.
Like that. And you have to button your shirts. Don't show any cleavage. Yes.
That includes like tourists and people who are not Muslim, even people.
Yes.
Oh.
So we're not required to use the abaya. The abaya is this long black dress that local women wear. We're not required to wear those, but we're expected to wear something that is respectable.
Respectable, right. I see. Okay. Did you find that to be difficult in your daily life?
Well, in business, not really. Because we can wear like blazers and all, and just don't wear something too short if you're wearing skirt.
Yeah.
But in private life, it's a little bit difficult.
Even in your private life, so on your days off, you still have to cover up. You couldn't wear a tank top or short dress or mini skirt. No.
And I have to remind you, the summers in Qatar are quite extremely hot.
Right.
The temperature could go as high as 50 degrees Celsius.
50 degrees? Oh my goodness.
And you cannot wear your tank tops or shorts or
right. それはね、彼女が言ったのは服装ですよね。特に女性は肌を見せないっていうこういう文化がありますから、やっぱり全身をね隠さなければいけないですよね。だから短パンとかタンクトップとかそういうのは禁止で、これは仕事中はもちろんそうなんですけど、休みの日もそうなんですよ。それね観光客もそうだし、観光客だからって言って短パンとか T シャツとかっていうのは基本的にはノーで、そしてものすごい暑い国だから夏はもう50度まで上がると。50度ですよ。その中で体を全部カバーしなければいけないから、それがすごく大変でしたねと。And you were there for quite a few years. You were there for how many years?
5 years first, and then
5 years.
And
5
then
年間
I came back and another 3 years, so total of 8 years.
So you came back and then you went back to Qatar for another 3 years?
Yes.
I see. Okay. And I'm sure there were some great experiences that you've had, maybe some things that you've learned. Maybe you could tell us about some of the good stuff that you experienced there.
Oh, sure. Well, part of their culture is they're very hospitable and generous.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you can imagine how rich they are, but yeah, they're quite generous. You have to be aware of praising or commenting about what they're wearing. because it's they might give it to you. Like for example, I didn't know that before. So one of our guests came to the reception and I greeted, "Hi, madam. Wow, what's that perfume you're wearing?" And then she said something like very expensive perfume. And then the next day she came back and gave me a perfume, the same one that she was wearing.
Really? Just because you asked her and you made a compliment?
Yes, I just complimented her. I wasn't expecting her to give me anything. I was just complimenting her because the scent was really strong actually.
See, you were just being polite.
I was just being polite. I said, yeah, but then the next day she came back and gave me a box of perfume. So,
I see.
A bottle of perfume.
Wow. これ面白いですね。カタールで、and she was a local person?
She's Qatari. Yes.
I see. まあローカルのカタールの方なんですけども、これカタールのちょっと独特の文化かもしれないですけど、やっぱり褒めたりとかすると、すぐ例えばね、それいいシャツしてますねとか、スカーフ綺麗ですねって言うと、すぐにくれちゃうんですよね。じゃああげますよとか、マイルズさんが言ってたのが、そのゲスト、カタールの方なんですけど、ゲストでホテルに来た時に香水っていうんですか、パフュームがすごい香りですねって、どんな香りですかって言ったらすごい高いブランドだったんですけども、こういうブランドですよって言って、そうなんだ、ありがとう教えてって言って、次の日に新品のボトルをですね、彼女にあげるよって言ってくれたんですって。そうね、なんだろうね、あんまりね褒めるといろいろもらっちゃうので、ちょっとそこ気をつけた方がいいですね。ちょっと聞いてみたいです。So if you say like that's a nice Rolls Royce, I like your car. Well, actually, no, それはないか。No, they wouldn't do that.
But of course, I'm not sure if like everybody's like that. But what I noticed was like that wasn't like what do you call that? It's not just one time event. Like it happened multiple times. Like, I was just talking about jogging. I was just talking to our guest, and I said, I really want to go jogging, but I have to go and buy some sweatpants or something because I only had like shorts and I cannot go and jog outside with just shorts. And this guy, because a few days after he came back and he gave me some sweatpants.
Why would a guy buy you sweatpants?
I don't know. I really don't know. So many other instances. It wasn't just me. Also my colleagues sometimes it would.
Wow.
iPhone was just given to me by a Qatari.
I guess as well.
This is in 2014 when I went back. And I went to visit our hotel guest who became a friend, and he saw that my Samsung was cracked. There was a crack. And then after a week, he sent me a brand new iPhone 6 because this was the newest model at that time.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
It was my second phone that was given to me when I was
Really?
It's not the first time.
そして本当にこのなんかちょっと褒めてちょっと会話の中でポロって何か言うとすぐに物をくれるらしくて、そしてもう何度もそれが起こってですね、彼女も iPhone をですね、新品の iPhone を2個ももらったと。そして1回目はサムソングの電話がちょっと欠けていて割れていて、あららそれ割れてるねって言って、そうそう落として割れちゃったんだよねみたいな会話してたら、新しい iPhone6 をですねプレゼントとしてもらったと。もう一個の話で、彼女が今度ねジョギング行きたいんだけど、これ本当に雑談の話ですよ。雑談の中で、いやジョギング行きたいんだけどジョギング用のズボンがないからちょっと買いに行かないといけないなっていうちょっと簡単な日常会話みたいのしてたら、数日後に男性がですよね、男性がそのトラックパンツを買ってきて、これあげるよ買ってきたよって言ってくれたんだって。そうね、これ本当にポロってなんか言うとすぐ買ってきちゃうから、なんかいい商売になりますよね。You can make a business out of that, my Rolex is kind of I know you could say like my Rolex is kind of not working, and then bam, you get a new watch. You make it into a business. Now, of course, you wouldn't do that, but anyway, so okay, that's Qatar, which is an amazing experience, I'm sure. What about the Maldives? So you went to the Maldives. Is that after Qatar, you went to the Maldives? Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, another beautiful place. I would love to go there. I've only seen YouTube videos and posters of the Maldives, but my image is beautiful beaches. It's like you've got these cottages floating on the ocean. Beautiful swimming pools. Is that the Maldives? Is that what it's like?
Yes, exactly that.
Exactly.
Oh. It's a paradise.
Paradise. And how long were you there?
3 years.
For 3 years. Okay. And you did the same kind of work, attending to...
Yes, I did. And I was a trainer when I was there. Yeah.
You were a trainer? What kind of trainer? Like an
massage
English?
trainer or therapy treatments.
Therapy.
Teaching, massage therapy and also English. I was teaching English
Uh-huh.
to our staff.
Oh, to the hotel
staff
staff.
came from different parts of the world. So.
I see, I see. マルディブスでは少し経験を積んで、トレーナーとして行きましたと。そしてフィジカルテラピストのライセンス持ってたから、そこのマッサージとかリハビのトレーニング、あとは英語のトレーニングをやってましたと。なるほど。And can you tell me a little bit about the business culture in the Maldives? What was that like?
Well, it's very different from Qatar.
Yeah.
The Maldives also is Islamic country. But it's very different. They're not very particular with the dress code. You can wear anything.
Oh, really?
So they're very laxed. And the business culture is more like the Western business culture.
I see. And the local people, they speak English quite well there?
Yes.
I see.
So most of them, they speak English quite fluently. Yeah.
I see. OK、マルディブスもメインの宗教がね、イスラムなんですよね。カタールと同じなんですけども、ただそこまで、なんですかね、真面目にっていうか、イスラムのルールをね、そこまで守らなくて、服装とかもルースで、普通に水着とか、普通の格好でしますと。なので、国によって全然違うんですね。同じ宗教としても。そして文化としては、すごくウェスタンっぽいって言ってるんですけど、アメリカ系ですね。そっち系に近いと。I see. Was there any sort of like miscommunication or problems that you had while you were in Maldives?
No miscommunication. No, everybody spoke English quite well. So I was really glad that I can speak English.
Right. So, and you mentioned it's more of a Western culture, and in the Philippines, although it's in Asia, there's still kind of a Western culture. There's a big influence from the United States, right? So in that sense, you felt it was very easy to work and communicate in the Maldives. Is that right?
That's true. Yes.
I see. Okay. Well, for other people aspiring to work overseas, okay, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who would love to work in the Maldives, love to work in the UAE or Qatar. What would you recommend to them? Are there some things that they should be careful of, or things that they should do to increase their chances to succeed in those countries? Maybe you could have some advice for them.
Right. So first, of course, you need to do your research. Nowadays, it's quite easy to do that. Not only online research, but you can also try and communicate with people who already have experiences working overseas. That would be better, actually. Be careful with the culture. For example, in Qatar, if you're going to set up a meeting, make sure that you don't book a meeting during the Ramadan prayer time.
Oh, Ramadan. Yes, I've heard of that. I see. It's a very sensitive...
So there's time. You have to be mindful of the time.
Yes.
Where you can make the appointment. And even if it's not Ramadan, there are prayer times during the day. They pray 5 times a day, so try not to book a meeting where it would be their prayer times.
Right.
And if you're a man, for example, don't try to shake hands with a Qatari lady, okay, unless she's the one who would extend her hand.
Right.
So culture, customs, very important to research. And also English. If you can speak English well, you would be, you could avoid misunderstandings. You could fully enjoy immersing yourself in the culture, and you can build the relationships if you know how to speak English. Yeah?
Right.
Yeah. Yes. And be open-minded.
Open-minded.
Yes. Because sometimes we bring our culture, of course we can bring our culture to the other culture, but we have to like embrace, be open to changes.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, thank you for your message. いや、すごい重要なメッセージなんですけど、マイルスさんが言ってたのはやっぱり情報ですよね。海外に行くっていうこと、他の国に行くっていうことは今はもう情報いくらでもあるので、 YouTube なのか Google なのか、そしてやっぱりそれをちゃんと準備するっていうのがめちゃくちゃ重要ですと。それで準備してその情報を頭に入れると、その文化、その人たちにリスペクトを見せているので、やっぱり何も知らなくて今行ってそこで勉強すればいいって思っちゃうと痛い目に遭うので、文化、カスタム、カルチャーっていうのをすごく理解するというのは大事ですと。特に宗教とか入ってくると、この時期、この時間には邪魔しないとか、ミーティングをこの時に設定しちゃダメとか、いろいろありますので、やっぱりそういうの知らないとものすごい失礼な行動になる可能性があるから、そこは気をつけましょう。情報っていうのは大事ですよね。文化っていうのも大事です。あと言ってたのは英語ですよね。結局どの国行ってもやっぱり最終的にコミュニケーション取る言語っていうのは英語になりますので、やっぱり英語を知ってると非常にプラスになるから、やっぱり英語を勉強していくっていうのは大事ですよねっていうことですね。そして3つ目言ってたのはオープンマインドですね。やっぱり自分の価値観とか文化っていうのはみんなそれぞれあるんですけども、違う国行く時にはやっぱり自分の価値観で判断はしない。その相手の文化をちゃんとリスペクトとしてオープンマインドで受け取るっていうのもものすごく重要っていうことを言ってましたね。Alright, so Miles-san, so thank you so much for today. We learned a lot about Qatar, the Maldives, and about you and the great adventure that you had, 15 years overseas. That's a big part. Hey, I've spent about 25 years in Japan, which is a foreign country to me because I'm originally from Canada. So, yeah, but of course it's a great experience when you work and live in another country, and I'm sure you've learned so much from your experience, and you share that with your students every day, right?
Yes.
At Bizmates. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for your time. It was great talking to you. Okay. I hope to talk to you again. Okay. Thanks, Mom. Okay. Goodbye.
Thank you. Good day.
ここでお知らせです。Bizmates の公式 LINE ではビジネス英語を勉強したい人に向けたコンテンツを配信しています。登録したらすぐに特典をゲットできます。限定の無料講座もやっていく予定です。もっと英語力を高めたい方はぜひ下の概要欄から登録をお願いします。いやー面白い話でしたね。さすがマイルさんはもう15年間ね、いろんな国に仕事をしていまして、いろんな話聞けたんですけども、ただあくまでもこれはマイルさんの個人のご経験であり、ただ参考だけにしておいてください。で、Bizmates はビジネスパーソンのためのオンライン英会話になるんですけども、マイルさんのようないろんな国でご経験されている方もたくさんいますから、もっとそういうマイルさんのお話みたいに聞きたいと思ったら、ぜひ Bizmates の公式画面でいろんなトレーナーを検索してみてください。この動画が面白かったらチャンネル登録、高評価、コメントお待ちしてます。それでは次の動画でお会いしましょう。See you next time!